So this is a video demonstrating how to get the Bookworms application up and running locally. So I'm starting from scratch. Need to basically clone the repository down, create a new project in GitHub. So I'm going to check out from version control from GitHub. And I'm going to use the Git repository URL for Bookworms. Go ahead and clone. Yes, I want to check it out. Don't worry guys, I won't make any changes to your application. I'm creating from existing sources. I don't believe that it didn't appear to be a Maven project, so safe taking the default there. Project name, I'm leaving alone. Taking the defaults. I'm going to switch this to JDK 1.8 because I think that's what you guys are using. See how that goes. Go ahead and finish. Alright, so first thing I'm taking a look at here is to make sure that the directories seem to be marked correctly. The web directory's got the little world icon on it, so that does seem to be identified as a web application. Source is green, so looks like this is all of our source code. I am not seeing a green test directory, so I'm assuming there aren't tests here, although there are a couple classes labeled test here. So I'm just kind of perusing this to figure out, all right, what dependencies am I going to need in order to be able to run the application? Let's see, so there is a live directory here, so some of the dependencies have been checked in to GitHub, so I want to make sure that the lib here is on my build path. So I'm going to start off by just doing a build and see kind of where we're at. First I need to look at my project structure and set up an artifact to build. So here, underneath artifacts, I'm going to go ahead and add a new one. I want a web application exploded. That's typically what we use in order to build or to deploy on our local Tomcat. If we're deploying up to OpenShift, it's easier to use an archived WAR. But for these purposes, I'm just worried about a local deploy here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit apply and OK. So my first cut at this is just to take the defaults. I'm going to go ahead and do a build artifacts, build. And we've got some problems here. So let's take a look at what's going on. Okay, so the Jackson jars don't appear to be included in the project. Let's look in the live directory here. And that's correct. So Jackson is used in the project, but not included in the live directory here. So I'm going to need to make sure that I get those added in. And just kind of taking a look through this list as well. JUnit's not there, log4j is not there, so those are a couple other dependencies that I know I'm going to need to add. So back to the project structure, underneath modules, and then dependencies. Okay. You'll also notice that this live directory is not included in my listed dependencies, so I want to get that in there as well. So here I'm going to add directories. I specifically want to add that live directory. Include that. And you'll notice that I'm getting some problems showing up on my problems tab. So I'm going to add a few more dependencies and then we'll go and clean those up. So here we've got, also want to add in JUnit, log4j. I don't believe there's any database going on with this service, so I don't need to worry about that. The one that I still need here is Jackson, and I have not set up a library for that. I've got the jars handy though. So my jars, I'm going to grab the 3 Jackson jars, core annotations, and data bind from a few weeks ago. Go ahead and hit apply. And again, I've got some problems here, so I'm going to go through and fix these and make sure that and actually I can fix all these, add missing dependencies to the artifact. So all the different dependencies that I just added, I want to make sure that those get added in to my artifact. My messages aren't going away here, I'm not sure. There they go. It's taking a little bit of time here. So I need Jackson not only at compile time, but also at runtime. So what I'm setting up here is to make sure that all of my dependencies are included when I actually deploy. Okay. I'm going to hit apply, OK, and I'm going to rebuild my artifacts. All right, JUnit doesn't exist, and I thought I added that in, so let's take a quick look here. Project structure. Modules, dependencies, and I have JUnit marked for test. I need that at compile time as well here. Go ahead and hit OK. You'll notice those errors went away. Let's rebuild. Alright, so things look good. Now I'm looking for the out directory here to take a look at my artifact to make sure that it's been built correctly. I'm not seeing it. I didn't get any errors. It appeared when I was watching the status down here at the bottom that it did run. So I am going to take a look in the file system. The out directory is there. Why that's not showing up inside of IntelliJ, I'm not sure, but that's okay. We can take a look at it here. So what I'm looking for is that war exploded. That's my artifact. The index.jsp is getting there. That matches up with what's expected out of the project. So there's only one JSP here, index.jsp, so that's looking good. In the webinf directory, then, this is where we want to make sure are all our classes getting built and included. Eyeballing it, it looks like a fair number of those, so I'm going to say yes, they're getting there. And then my dependencies. Are all the dependencies making it through? So here are the Jackson jars. That's looking good. Log4j is there, plus everything that was in the live directory that I pulled from GitHub. So fairly confident that the war file looks good. Again, I'm not sure why that out directory is not showing here. I'm just going to check project structure real quick and make sure that the path there is set up. Project structure, and underneath paths, under modules, that's where we specify the path. Inherit the project compile output path, and that should be this essentially. Let's give that a try. Let's try rebuilding. Yeah, compile, the build seems like it's happening. We're just for some reason not seeing it here. I'm not sure why that is, but I'm going to go ahead and do a run. I need to edit a configuration, so I need to add a Tommy server, local. You'll notice I've got a warning here, no artifacts marked for deployment. Go ahead and fix that. Apply. And I'm just going to leave this unnamed for purposes of demonstration. We'll go ahead and run, and hopefully that war file gets deployed here. All right, things are looking good. It looks like, yep, not seeing any errors here, so I think we're good to go. All right, so hopefully that helps. Nancy, this was kind of specifically an answer to your question, but hopefully it will help other folks as well understand kind of what to look for as you're bringing in a new application. If you have questions, please ask.